Okay, lesson 10 of basic pibroch movements. I'm going to combine that along with lesson 11 since I'm a week and a half behind. Basically explaining the Taorluaths, the subtleties that are placed in classical music as opposed to light music. And so the Leumluaths and the Taorluaths, the taste, the flavor that you give them in classical music is different than it would be in light music. And it's very important to understand that, because it's not as if you're going to play grips all the way through because they sound like grips. You just play them as if you have played them in 6/8, 2/4 march, or anything else for that nature. And the same goes for the Taorluaths. There's a grace period in the subtlety and the embellishment side of how to put it all together. And that's the taste that's important. So I'm going to start with the Leumluaths, and I'll start with the hem daddy, which is basically low G, with the G graceful onto low A, with the D graceful up to E. So you want to be careful how you place that. That would be the first one. And then hen bari, which would be the G grace on the low A to an E grip with subtle touch. Ha bari, which would be the G grace on the C onto the E grip itself. Same subtle taste that you want to give this. And then the next one would be ha bari, which would be the D to the E grip and subtlety there, with the exception that you have the B embellishment, the B embellishment as opposed to the D. And then next one would be hey bari, which would be the G, pibroch G, to the E grip. Now what I'm playing through these lines of Leumluath exercises is basically the common grips and theme notes that you would be playing them off about 90% of the time. Now you can easily play them up through the scale. I'm just attacking the ones that you will see pretty much in the basics and intermediate pibrochs, leading into advanced and high advanced pibrochs. So more complex pibrochs. So here in the basics, I'm throwing those out, which are important right now. So the high G, hi battery, and then and then last but not least would be the high A, which would be bari. Here we go. So there are the most common Leumluaths that you're going to see, and like I said, in the intermediate range of pibrochs, as well as in some of the basic pibrochs. But those are the ones you want to attack to understand. Now you can easily play them, play the notes in between the ones that are missing once you understand the basic common knowledge of what I just performed for you. Now the Taorluaths are going to be no different than the Leumluaths in the sense of subtlety and gracefulness you're going to give, except you got the G, the D, and the E placement. And so we got the one movement you're going to see quite often would be in the Taorluath, and a lot of times you see it in the singling and sometimes in the doubling. But you have a G grace note on a low G, followed on a D grace note on A, followed by an E grace note on A. So the hem dared, hem dared. So that would be. And then from there, you would hit the Taorluaths, and the most common ones are the A, the C, the D, the Piobaireachd G, high A. And yes, there's an F, also an E, but the ones I'll just attack right now in this exercise would be the ones that are most common. Hen dared, hen dared. So it's not so much the hen, which is the previous, from low G to the two A's with the D grace note, E grace note, G grace note on low G. Now we got the hen dared, which would be A to A on the Taorluath. And the next one would be ho dared, which would be on the C. And then the next one would be the D Taorluath, would be ha dared, ha dared, ha dared. Now that would be with the B embellishment replacing the D embellishment. That would be the exception to D, D only. And then he dared, I dared, he dared. Now it'd be the Piobaireachd G to the Taorluath. Last but not least, the high A. I dared, I dared, I dared. And the high A now to the Taorluath. So there's the attack of the Leumluath and the Taorluaths, with the subtleties that are necessary when you get to those areas of the Piobaireachd. So I hope this helps you. Lesson 12 will be right behind this. Thank you very much.